We are the GlobeTrotting Trio. I am Amy.
I'm Shelley.
Hello, I'm Tammy.
I am so proud of you for remembering your name today.
I know, isn't that?
I listened to that podcast the other day again, and I'm like,
It was
that's so
funny.
funny. It was hysterical. Yes.
It was.
All
It was
right.
hysterical.
Hey, everybody. Today we are going to talk about our dream boards to reality. Now, if you might not know what that is, but have you ever said, okay, look, when I get older or in the future, I want this to happen? Maybe you took a little picture of it, even if it's just visual. You put it up on a little board and said, this is what I want. Have you ever done that?
I
I
have
have.
one to my right.
Yep.
Yes. So mine's right up here and it's on my phone and it's on my computer screens, but I digress. So we've all done that. So let's go with this.
I I don't know if I could put it on my computer screen. My husband might boycott that because I have this fabulous picture of he and I, and he might get mad at me.
I'll just
Oh,
put he and
I
I,
could just demote him and not tell
you,
him.
you and
yeah.
I, like you could do a Sheldon Cooper, on Big Bang, where he has this
Yeah.
rope. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So think about your original dream board. Can you remember the very first time you made a dream board? And maybe what some of those goals or things were that you had on there? And just remember back to the very first one you can remember. It doesn't have to be your original because if I went back to my original, I'm living that life, but that original was done well before I ever met Andrew, well before I ever
Right.
like probably that
Mm-hmm.
vision that I had was
Mm-hmm.
probably what we had in high school,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or elementary school or something
Yep.
of that nature. So right
Mm-hmm.
now, think about that very first time you had a vision board that you can remember. And
Mm-hmm.
what is
Mm-hmm.
something on that vision board that you have today? And it again, any kind of vision board. Go for it, Tammy. I know you got one.
Well, mine is
Let's hear
it
it.
is travel. That I
Right.
get to travel a lot, and I remember, I mean, I didn't do a vision board until like, I don't know, 20 years ago. So I didn't do one when I was a kid or anything like that. Or as a, 20-year-old. I was into my 30s, way into my 30s before I did one. And I remember put on there, a nice
Um,
car, a nice house, travel anytime, anywhere I want.
Hmm.
And I mean, all three of those came to life because of this business. I mean,
Right.
honestly, because of this business. And, if I wanted to go somewhere tomorrow, I can't right now because of life. But if I wanted to go somewhere tomorrow, I mean, I could. I could,
Yeah.
I have the resources to do that. So that's huge for me. And and I don't think I've ever thought of it, Amy, as that dream board did come to life.
Right.
Yeah.
hmm,
Right.
Yeah.
nice.
So, and I can't remember, there's somebody, I think our founder actually doesn't call it a dream board or wish board. He has
Reality.
a reality board, right?
Yeah.
Reality
So
board.
we have a
Mm-hmm.
dream board and a reality board, or a reality and a want, or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. I can't remember. He
Something.
has two different
Yeah.
names for him. One that is something that has come true. So maybe
Right.
that's what we should start doing. Maybe that's
Ooh,
next
make
one should
reality
be.
boards.
At the end of the year, we need to create our reality board. What came off of our vision, and now
Right.
it's in
Ooh,
reality. Huh, we need to do that. I
Mm.
I
have
like it. Hey,
plans.
you
I
might be
have
onto something
plans.
now.
I
Yeah.
love it. I
Yes.
love it.
Mm.
And
I
you just gave
do
me a
something.
great idea to talk to everybody about is their dream boards.
Mm-hmm. Look at us all making notes.
I know
Yeah.
we all are making
Mhm.
notes going,
So
okay,
those who
yes,
are
let's
watching
do
on
that.
YouTube know that we just all sat down with a piece of paper and wrote
Yes,
some things down. So we remembered to
yes, we
do
did.
that. Those that are listening on podcasts are like, why are they being quiet? Well, that's what it was.
That's
We had
why.
an epiphany. We needed to write it down so we don't forget. One
And
of
as
the
You
three
know,
of us will
Gen Xers,
have it.
you can't talk and write at the same
no,
time unless
we
it's
are
the
Gen
Well,
same
what's
Xers.
thing.
sad is we could have just had one of us write it down and the other three and told everybody after, hey, here it is. But no, we're
Yeah,
not that smart.
No.
All right.
yeah.
So Shelley, tell
Fellas,
me,
that's smarter, organized.
yeah, we're not that organized. Yeah, we're smart people. We're just not that
Yeah.
organized.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Shelley, tell me
Exactly.
about
Oh, I
your
can remember
vision
a
to
house.
reality. A
Hmm.
house.
Yep, I have my house. It's a love-hate relationship, but I have my house.
Mhm.
These darn
Mhm.
old Victorians. And I know specifically I had a Mustang convertible on there. And
Ugh,
I'm not talking like new, like I want old. That has not happened. And now I don't even know if I would want one. I don't know that I would get one now. It's something that has changed in my life. Like I'm happy with my SUV that I can throw kids and stuff in. Like I
uh-huh.
don't think I
Stuff.
need a car yet.
Hmm.
Maybe when I retire. I had a horse on there.
Ah,
I've owned horses. I
there
don't any
you
longer.
go. Ah.
I have owned horses. And dogs. And of course, I have dogs and kids.
Lots of
And
them.
I have lots of kids. So we have as many dogs in the house as we have kids. Thankfully, the kids are gone, the dogs are not. How's
Yep.
that?
Yeah.
That like sounds like a happy home.
It
I mean,
is.
so I will tell you, whenever I did my original dream board back in the day, I never put a house on there because I just always assumed I would have one.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
See, I was specific about
Uh,
my house.
I was
I wanted
not.
a Victorian.
Yeah.
Like,
I knew where I wanted to be, but I didn't know. And honestly, I didn't even know where I wanted to be. I just knew I was just gonna have my own home. That I always knew. I didn't know I was gonna
mhm.
build the house. I didn't know all those things, but that was not it. But my original was to have somebody that I could partner with, i.e., my husband, that was as
Mhm.
loving and everything. My first marriage, not so much. And it
Mm-mm.
was actually during my first marriage that I had the vision that I wanted somebody in my life.
interesting.
And at that point, I really thought it was going to be him. I thought, that miraculously he would,
Well,
Heal.
change and
you know,
everything would
Yeah.
be. But as time progressed and all the things that happened and this, that, and the other and everything, of course, we got to this point. And this point, I will tell you that man,
it's much better.
God, the universe, whomever, the stars, everything aligned perfectly to bring me Andrew.
Oh,
And he
Andrew,
just
if
fell.
you are listening,
He
which
is,
I
and
know
he's on
you
his
are,
walk right now. I can guarantee you, because that's whenever he listens to our podcast.
he is not going to fit through the door when he comes home after
No,
listening to this.
no, I
His
can't
head is,
wait for it because he's going to come back big chested. His head's going to be big, and
yeah.
he's going to, I was on her dream board. I
Oh,
was on
right.
her dream
And didn't
board.
even know it. Yeah, exactly.
I love
Oh, that's
it. I
funny.
got to tell you, a few weeks ago, we recorded one and we were talking about the obligations of owning a brick and mortar business and how you have to buy supplies, and I made the comment about and I wouldn't even worry about like toilet paper, right? And I said my husband doesn't let us get down to a single roll. Like he gets down to one package and he goes and buys the jumbo package. Well, we listened to that one in the car on the way home from North Carolina. He was a couple episodes behind, so we listened to him together, and he looked over and he's smiling at me and he goes, "Oh, you know me well." I think he probably wanted to ask, why are you talking about my toilet paper obsession? That's probably what he really wanted to ask.
Well,
But
Oh, well.
so another one of my goals has always been that I wanted to always do more than I always could, right? I wanted to be able to help more people. I wanted to be able to inspire more people. I wanted to be able to be more than what
There
everybody
you
else in my
are.
family had ever been. Now, my mom was a nurse. She was always the person that everybody came to for assistance if she ever needed anything.
Mm,
My dad, he was kind of the patriarch of the family. Even on his side, there's 12 brothers and sisters, and people all gravitated to him. So even the nieces and the nephews and aunts and uncles and everybody would come to him to ask the questions and seek advice. And that's kind of, I wanted to be a combination of those two. I wanted to
yeah.
be the person that people knew were always going to be there and that I could help as many people in life as possible, right? That's the best part of this business.
I was gonna
Like
say, how's that working for you?
mm,
that that is the best part of this business.
mm.
Helping over 100 families succeed
Yeah.
in the travel industry has been a huge part of that goal. Um, is it all that I want to do? No, but that's just the starting
Yeah.
point, right? So
Yeah.
Right.
What about you guys? Do you have any of those kind of goals that you would look back and say when you were younger, this is what I wanted? And it might not have been something that you put on a vision board so much as whenever you were younger, what did you want to achieve in your life? What did you look like whenever it said, in the future, I will be this?
I've always had, I don't know, vision, desire, calling, whatever you
Uh-huh.
want to call it, women and children, helping women and children. That's always has been. And, if I go out through my life, the things that I have done, through my life in, at church, I was part of I was in charge of the women's group and, this and just like you said about this business, that fulfills a big, huge part of it because I, I help empower women to be able to have their businesses of their own and make their own money. And that in sense is going to help the children for sure.
Yeah.
Um, and then, of course, we talk about my nonprofit later on in another episode, but my nonprofit that I'm a board member of, and that's a big part of who I am too. So, and that's all about women and children. And that one's more families and children, but
Nice.
still
I'm glad you
same.
stopped us because I was actually going to ask you about that because I feel like that's one of the huge things that you get to give through that
Mhm.
nonprofit. So you guys should probably be looking out for that episode pretty soon so that you can hear all about it. You want to know all about what it is, what it is. All right.
What it
All right.
is. What it
Shelley,
is.
tell us about yours. Like tell us some good stuffs.
It sounds so funny, but like I never okay, so when I was really young, I wanted to be a teacher, right? And so many little girls want to be teachers. And then I realized, once I was teaching cosmetology, I was like, oh, this is not so fun. I don't like raising other people's grown children. I knew then I would never teach like in a school, but it's kind of funny because now I get to substitute because of my business. I
Mhm.
am free to be able to substitute some and be with kids. So that's kind of cool.
Oh, that's
But
cool. Yeah.
I mean, outside of that, I never really thought I was going to be in a certain like industry or business or have a certain person. I just knew I was going to have a job and I was just going to be good at it. I never like said, what is that going to look like?
Hmm.
Um, but the one thing I always remember is that I was going to be a grandma. Like I just
Oh,
knew, and it wasn't it like I'm going to cry. It wasn't even like oh, I'm going to be a mom and then I'm going to be a grandma. Like I knew I was going to be a grandma because I had such an incredible grandma until I was almost 40 years old. Like my grandma was such a huge impact in my life and such an incredible person. I wanted to be her. Like I wanted to be a grandma.
There you go. I love it. I do
awesome.
love that. Now, we've talked about some that we've actually achieved, but talk about what we have actually visualized, because I know all three of us have some huge goals in life, right? Um, if we were to sit down and say, okay, let's visualize what our life's going to be like in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years, in 5 years, what does it look like for you guys? Who wants to take it first?
I want to hear
So,
yours first.
oh yes, Amy, let's hear
All
yours
I want to
right.
first.
hear yours first.
So, my first, oh, I should have said my next one was that I was going to retire, right? I was going to be able to retire. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I did. So
Right.
I, of course, helped everybody. I retired in June of 2023. We have a goal that Andrew will either have to work one more or two. So either this school year and the next one, or hopefully by the end of this one.
Mm,
Just kind of depends on what we get paid off.
yeah.
So we'll take, say at least 2 school years he'll work. And then we will have debt free, which is going to be huge, and he will be retired with me. So that's our huge, huge goal. That in and of itself is the goal, right?
Yeah.
Another big goal that I forgot to mention too is that I have a willable business. The fact that now
Oh,
something happens to me, Andrew gets it, something happens to he and I, our oldest granddaughter takes over our business. That means that, those things have happened. But ultimately, it's the ability to him to retire, and then we can go do as we wish when we wish. That's ultimately what we want. We want to spend our life doing what we like, when we like, and how we like. There we go. So what about you two ladies?
Hmm.
So
I,
oh, do you want to go, Shelley?
nope,
Go ahead.
you go. I
Okay.
am all for you going.
So mine is probably yeah, I'm gonna probably cry, so just get bear with me. But
Mhm.
I mean, my dream is to support my mother 100%. Um, my dream is for her to be in my house somehow. Um, and there's lots of things that need to happen with my house before that can happen.
Mhm.
She doesn't want to share a bathroom with a boy. So we have to build on the back of the house. So um, or come up with another bathroom somewhere. So that is my 2 year. And I want her last years of her life to be stress free, have family support and around, and just feel the love that she might not have felt before. So,
I
yeah.
like that. I love it, actually.
I do
Hmm.
I love
too.
it. It's one of those things that I always wanted to do with my mom, and she never would let me. She was too
Yeah.
independent. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
yeah.
My mom's lonely. And she is. She's very lonely right now. And, my dad passing, I mean, it's been 3.5 years, but I think, going off on grief, but I think grief happens to people in different times,
Mhm.
also. So, and I think this is her lonely stage of going through that. So, and she won't come stay with me um yet. This winter she will. She'll be here a lot this winter because she doesn't like the snow. And she likes to get out, but she doesn't like the snow. So she will be with me. But yeah, it's a dream.
Yeah. I love it. What about you, Shelley? Tell us.
Uh, now, I'm going to preface this with saying my husband will always work, but just like you wanting to get Andrew retired, my husband is a rare breed. He is quickly approaching 40 years with the same company.
Oh, wow.
40 years. It's
I thought you
unheard
were
of.
going to say he was approaching 40 years old, and I was,
Oh,
I, I don't get that. That one doesn't make
I met
sense.
Alan. Sorry,
yeah,
Alan. All right,
no.
40 years. 40 years with the
He's
same
awfully
company.
gray for 40.
Mhm.
40 years, same company. He has weathered a whole lot of bosses, some good, some bad, some in between, a lot of climate changes, economic changes. And he has always provided for our family, whether it's financially and or insurance. We can always count on him somehow, some way. And I want him to be able to confidently say, I'm ready to retire, right? We're
Mhm.
ready for me to retire.
Mhm.
Now, he'll have another job, but it'll be on his terms and when he wants to work.
Mhm.
So we can, move if we decide whenever our oldest settles in one place and we can be near the grandkids, or we get rid of this big old house and get two small ones in two different states or a different country, like whatever that looks like when it happens. I want it to happen. It is a burning desire in my heart. And he laughs at me because it's not his. Like he gets it and he'll support it, but he's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Like he's so go with the flow. But I'm like, I want him to not feel like he has to he has to be at this job or he has to work 45, 50 hours a week. So
I love it. I love
You
it.
know,
One of the, go ahead. Go ahead.
I just want to say one thing because before this business, I forgot to dream. I didn't know how to dream.
Mhm.
And here we are talking about things that people don't know. That's not even in their vocabulary.
Right.
And we're so fortunate that we actually can say those things now
Right.
because of this business.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
What? No, you are perfectly fine, and that was a very profound and great addition. Um,
occasionally she has good insight, right?
Good insight. Occasionally.
she does really a lot, but yeah.
I know.
You know,
Don't let
She
me get my
does.
head too big, right?
She does.
right. I know. We already got one person that's going to have a big head for this conversation that we've had today. Let it just stick with Andrew and we'll move on. All right. So, one of the things, though, that we've had to do over time, because we had those dream boards, even if it was just a mental dream board. Whenever we were kids, we all dreamt of what we wanted to do because back when we were raised on the premise that we could do whatever we wanted to, however we wanted to, when we wanted to, just do it, right? Our
Mhm.
life was shaped around that. And then as we got older, a lot of us did kind of package in those dreams and think, no, it'll never happen. It'll never happen. It'll never, that's just not what it is.
You
But
know,
now,
for us three, Amy, for us three, we each had a part of our life that was very contrary. It was a big, huge contradiction
mhm,
to I can do this and I can do that and I can go tackle this. You know, we
right,
had something that held us back. Um, and so I think it's even more bittersweet now
right.
that we
Because we
can
learned
sit
how
here
to
and say,
overcome. Yes,
yes, yeah,
Mhm.
for sure.
yeah.
Absolutely. I
So
never thought of
sorry
it
to
that way.
interrupt you.
No, wow. We got some profound thoughts coming through
I know.
today. Like,
Profound today.
I am super
Profound.
glad we're
Go
all together
us.
today. So, one of the things though that we have to do, because you can't just go along in life and it's just going to happen to you, you have to do those things called planning, maybe visualizing,
And
that kind of
we're
thing. Whenever you do that, tell me, like, what does it look like for you to make a plan? Like, whenever you look at it, what is it today that would be different for something that you even did 7 or 8 years ago? How does it look different? For me, it looks hugely different because 7 or 8 years ago, I wasn't in this business. 7 or 8 years ago,
Right.
I was still an educator and administrator and thought I had to go show up at a school every day, Monday through
Mhm.
Friday, 182 days a year for my contracted days. And whenever I was in administration, it was more than that. I had, 200 and something days I had to report every year. And then I would have my 10 days of personal leave where I could take off, but they would be really frown upon me leaving. So that was what my life was supposed to be until I retired years from now, because most
mm,
educators, they teach for 20 or 30 or even more than that years. So it looks completely different because now I look at it and I say, okay, I have an ability to create an opportunity. I have a vehicle that I'm driving right now, my business.
yeah.
It is going to allow me to do whatever. So the sky's the limit. What does it look like for us? So visualizing myself today, I'm going to visualize what I want in the future, and I'll tell you guys what that is. I want to be able to say that I have 10 acres here in Oklahoma where we live. We want a pond. We want a small cabin on there that'll allow us to have our grandchildren over, but we want to have it where we can park our RV right next to it so that we can take our RV and travel when we want to and come back, enjoy the summers here in Oklahoma with our grandbabies, have pool time, all that fun stuff, and then head on down the road. We want to have something out in either Georgia or Alabama. We've always said Lillian, Alabama area, and now have recently said, you know what, Georgia doesn't sound like a bad idea. That's where Andrew was born and raised. So we might be thinking the Richmond, Virginia, or Georgia area. No,
Richmond, Virginia.
not Richmond,
That's a
Virginia.
little bit of distance.
What the crap? Oh my gosh, it's out of
Can't think.
Savannah. Oh, he's going to correct me. As soon as he hears this, he's going to send it to me. It's where he was raised, he was born. It's Savannah, Georgia area. So we're thinking in that area, do we want that? Do we want Alabama? What do we want? Maybe we want something over in the West Coast as well. We're not 100% sure. We might come up to Ohio and buy
Okay.
some or
Okay,
Illinois.
come.
Yeah.
Don't come to Illinois. The
No, you
taxes will
won't be
kill
there
you.
anymore.
Stay
But
away from
whatever.
Illinois.
But those are all things that we never thought possible, right? I knew in my heart I would always have a home. Well, this is my home where I live right now. I
Hmm.
never thought I could have homes.
Homes. Mhm.
Yes. So that's the visualizing, the ability to see that future that I would
Mm,
never have been able to see before this business. So
right.
tell me, what is your vision of your future that has a little bit more than what you ever thought you could have?
Well, I'll start with I never thought I would own a home, honestly. I mean, I thought it would be years and years and years before
Hmm.
I owned a home because as a single mom, we rented for a long time. So now that I'm thinking, we might have two homes. We're looking at a specific location in Mexico where, we absolutely love, and we're like, well, maybe we really do want to buy there and, have something near the grandkids or have something near our other kids. Just the idea that I can even dare to think, you mean I might purchase
Mm.
not just a home, but maybe two? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what? That's incredible.
Yeah.
That we could just go between them, that we could say, hey, we're going to hop on a plane and we're going to work from Aruba for a week. Like,
Okay.
Yeah,
uh,
I like that. I'll do it. Go ahead.
yeah, like
Yeah.
let's work from Aruba for a week. Um, that's just an abundance that I never thought I would see in my life,
Mm-hmm.
and for a moment in time, I never thought I deserved it.
Right.
Right. Yep.
Yep.
That
But I
came come
dare to
that goes back to us having that. I mean, that goes
yeah,
back to us having the things that we had to overcome for
yeah.
sure. And just so you know, Richmond Hill.
There you go. All right, now you got it.
Okay, yeah.
And Andrew is going to be so proud of you. You
Well,
gave him a big head and then you disappointed
and
him,
then you
and
tore it.
now he's back to
All
normal.
back. It's all back. It's all right. All right,
Built
Tammy,
him
tell
up,
us
smashed
about
him down.
yours.
Yeah. So, I mean, the house is obviously, we do want a vacation home in a warm climate. And, and I always thought it would be Florida just because, that's where Ohio people go. Well, I'm sorry. The realization is that Florida is not where I want to go. So it's going to be on an island, I'm guessing, somewhere. And then, of course, then I'm thinking, okay, do I want two and a home base and then two vacation homes? I mean, it's just one of those, silly things. When I was in Fiji, it was like, oh, it would be such a dream. And it's not that expensive to buy a house there. It's just the airfare, or not
Right.
necessarily the airfare, but the
The
time
length,
to
yeah,
get
the
there.
length of time it
So,
takes to get there. Yes.
right. Right. So, I mean, it would definitely be, I believe, in an island somewhere south, and that it would be warm enough all winter long.
Mhm.
Um, Not even 70s. I mean, I want 80s, and have a house here, and I do have to, I'm looking at my son too. I don't know with his, ADHD, as if he's going to be able to make enough of living to support him. So that's a big part of what Dave and I are thinking about, is how we can also support him
Yeah.
um, when that, a few years from now when we need to. Um,
Right.
Not that
Well,
he's,
you can start in the business as well.
right.
Start
Yeah.
And absolutely. And that's what I told him today. And he's like, okay, I could do that, Mom, and he totally can. And it's not like he is disabled by any means, but
No, but he has a way of talking to people.
oh yeah,
Yeah, that way he does not meet a stranger. So
he does not at all.
he would be a
Yeah.
perfect person for this business. So for
And
sure.
the kid is never had um what society calls as a normal life. He's never had it. His mom and dad are both entrepreneurs.
Uh-huh.
He is homeschooled by two teachers that are entrepreneurs. So
Mhm.
that's his most thing that makes sense to him, is also to be an
Yeah,
entrepreneur.
Mhm.
absolutely. His role
We,
models all do that.
Yeah.
we discussed, I don't know, a month ago or so on an episode about whether it's the money or the opportunities, right? That
Mm-hmm.
we each cherish so much about this business. And we said opportunities. And, there's probably people listening now that think, gosh, you're thinking two homes and I don't even own one, right? I live in an
Mhm.
apartment, or like I
Yeah.
can't even pay my rent this month. And whether we each get two homes or not, it's the fact that this opportunity, these businesses have
Mhm.
allowed us to dare to dream.
Right.
We have found something that will allow us, if that's what happens, right? In our future, it's our tool. It is, like Amy said, our car that we're driving that could get us there. Um, you know, we also talked about how we love to give to other people, and giving is huge for us, and
All three
I
of
want to
us.
give more, and this
Mhm.
is it's an opportunity that allows us to say, what if, and I would like.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and for some people, they never have that. And
Mm-mm.
I want everybody to dare to dream, to dare to think I could, or what if, or I want to try, because
Mhm.
we all deserve that. So,
Love it.
100%. All right, so tell me, Tammy, what you got? What's your final thoughts about making those dream boards into reality?
So, I think maybe, I don't know if you opened it or midway, is that um it has to have work behind it also,
Right.
is that but I said to somebody the other day, I unfortunately I had to go to a funeral on Monday, and they were asking me about my work, and oh, you're really busy. It's like, well, it's one of those things that they say, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Right.
And and that's exactly where I am right now. I love what I do. To
Mhm.
our small business that we have, to our travel business that we have, it has, um, and then watching other people get what they want to is amazing thing. So most importantly though, that it does take work. It's not hard work. It's a work that I love,
Consistent
uh,
work.
and consistent work. Amy loves, and Shelley, we all love it. So this business can make your dreams come true.
100%. And I love that you added that in because yes, we can talk about our dreams, but how are we getting that? We have the business, like I said, the vehicle, the car, so to speak, that's going to get us there, but we have to do the work behind the wheel before we can get there. So for sure, our dreams are what we're shooting for, our goals are what we're shooting for, but
Yeah.
we have to plan, we have to work, and then we get to watch when it happens. And we get to
Mhm.
celebrate all of our wins, all of our friends' wins, everything. So don't just dream about it, guys. We want you to come along with us. We want you to grab your own car. Come on down. Let's do it. If you've enjoyed any portion of this, you want to learn more about it, drop a message below. Let us know what your dreams are. We would love to hear what your dreams are. But you know what? In the interim, if you like what you hear, please give us a like, give us a follow so that you will absolutely be able to hear us every time we come out. And you know what? As always, we thank you for joining us on this beautiful journey that we are on. And you know what? It's a little wild every once in a while. But until next time, let's keep exploring, my friends.
Bye,
bye
everybody.
guys.
Bye-bye. Forgot that bye, guys.
Bye.